Another sign of death and dying is storytelling. So your loved one may feel the need to tell you stories about them, about their life, about other family members at this time. So if they begin to do that, let them do that. Let them tell you these stories. And with our technology now, it's great to be able to catch them on video if you can, to share with your loved ones. So part of this process happens is meaning making for your loved one. They're trying to make meaning of their life. And this is just part of how they're processing their death. And for you, this can also be part of the meaning making and a way to process your grief as you're going along. Now, if you have questions about your loved one's life, now is the time to ask them. Don't wait. Sometimes we go through life thinking that there is a right time for things, and that's rarely the case. We're just never guaranteed tomorrow, so the right time is right now when you think of things. So if you have questions about your loved one's life, ask them. And it can feel a little intrusive, especially if they're going through a lot, but actually for most people, they find it an act of love that you're asking, that you're even interested, right? Because part of death and dying, part of what makes it so difficult and going through the grief process is feeling like your life didn't mean anything. So when people are asking you questions about your life, you can actually make them feel like they meant something to someone, that their life had some sort of sense of importance, right? They're here for a reason. So actually asking them, it feels scary, but it can be quite meaningful to people. And always remember, just because you're asking doesn't mean that the person has to tell you, right? So you can ask, but if they don't want to tell you, they're not going to tell you, okay? So there's no harm in simply asking them questions about their life, as long as we're doing it in a kind way. So another mark of the death and dying process that can be an indication that death is going to occur soon is storytelling, okay? But also keep in mind that you shouldn't wait, right? If they're telling the stories now, listen to the stories now. If you have questions, ask them now. There is never a right time when it comes to anything in life. Now is the right time, so do it now. And keep in mind that just because your loved one seems okay right now, they seem stable and alert, it doesn't mean that they're going to be that way tomorrow. Things change rapidly, and depending on the disease process, it can be an up and down process, it can be a sharp decline, it can be a slow decline. But if they're, cognitive, if they're healthy there and they're awake and aware and they have the energy to tell the story, let them tell the story, ask about the story. There are many, many times when people seem perfectly fine. They lay down for a nap and they just don't wake up, or they go to sleep and they just don't wake up. And it seemed like everything was fine just hours before. So now is the time when you're at end of life. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.